The ocean roared outside. Waves crashed against the shore. I stood on the creaky porch of the old beach house. It was 2018. My friends and I rented it for a weekend. It didn't mention the history. 5 of us arrived that Friday night. Then, a thud out loud. From upstairs. We froze. What was that? Sarah whispered. Her eyes were wide. Jake laughed it off. Old houses creak, he said. But it wasn't a creak. It was heavy, like something falling, or someone stomping. Tom grabbed a flashlight. Let's check, he said. His voice was steady, but his hands shook. We found scratches on the back door. Long, deep, like claws, animals, Tom said. By dusk, we were inside again. The power flickered. The TV turned on by itself. From the attic this time. Tom wanted to check it. Sarah begged him not to. It's just rats, he said. He grabbed a broom, climbed the attic ladder. We waited below. My heart pounded. Silence. Then Tom screamed. He stumbled down. His face was white. There's something up there, he gasped. Not human. We didn't ask questions. Just grabbed our bags, ran for the car. Static. Then a whisper, faint. Get out. We stared at each other. Emily started crying. Jake unplugged the TV. We locked the doors, sat in the dark. Something tapped the windows. Slow. Deliberate. Not physically. In our heads. Nightmares. Shadows in corners. Whispers in empty rooms. We don't talk about it anymore, but we know that house wasn't empty. Something lived there, and it wanted us. Tap. Tap. Sarah sobbed. Jake cursed. Emily prayed. I looked at the house. From a guy named Mike. He stayed at a beach house in North Carolina. Outer Banks. 2015. It was a family reunion. Big place. Right on the dunes. The first night was fine. Barbecue. Kids running around. But at 2 a.m., the kids woke up screaming. They said a lady was in their room. Gray hair. Wet dress. Staring at them. Mike checked. No one was there. The windows were locked. The kids wouldn't sleep alone after that. A shadow moved in the upstairs window. Tall. Thin. Not human. It watched us. The whispering stopped, but the air felt heavier, like it was watching us. But what kind of animal scratches would like that? I googled the house. Bad idea. Old articles popped up. A family lived here in the 1970s. They vanished. No trace. The locals called it cursed. I didn't tell the others. Not yet. Me, Sarah, Jake, Emily, and Tom. The hallway was dark. Narrow. The flashlight beam danced on peeling wallpaper. We checked every room. Nothing. Empty beds. Dusty dressers. Leading from the ocean to the house. They stopped at the porch. No prints going back. Mike's uncle swore he heard singing at night. A woman's voice. Soft. Sad. Coming from the water. They found an old photo in the house. A woman in a white dress. Standing on the beach. The caption read Eleanor. 1923. The kids pointed at it. That's her. They said. Open some beers. Play music. The house felt alive, though. Shadows moved in corners. The windows rattled. Even when the wind stopped. Sarah swore she saw a face outside. Just for a second. Pale. Staring. We checked the yard. Nothing but sand and driftwood. It's just the moonlight, Jake said. But Sarah didn't sleep that night. A cracked mirror in one room, but no source of the noise. Maybe it was outside, Emily suggested. Her voice was small. We nodded, wanted to believe her, but we didn't. We were college friends, ready for a break from exams. The plan was simple: beer, bonfires, and beach walks. But the house had other plans. The place looked charming online. Weathered shingles, big windows, a view of the Atlantic. But something felt off. The air was heavy. The salt smell mixed with something sour. I couldn't place it. My gut twisted. This wasn't just a house. It was hiding something. We found it on a rental site, a steal for a beachfront property in Maine. The listing said historic charm. The first sign came at midnight. We were unpacking, laughing about the tacky seashell decor. The stairs groaned under our weight. The air grew colder as we climbed. Back downstairs. We tried to shake it off. The next morning was gray. Fog hugged the coast. The house felt smaller, claustrophobic. That day, we tried to have fun. Walked the beach, collected shells, but the house pulled us back. It was like a magnet. Night fell. The noises started again. Thuds. Scrapes. The engine wouldn't start. Of course it wouldn't. The house didn't want us to leave. Somehow, the car started at dawn. We peeled out, never looked back. The house faded in the rear view, but it followed us. I heard another story. The next day, things got weirder. Footprints appeared in the sand. Small, bare. Mike's family left early. The house felt wrong, like it was holding its breath. They later learned the history. A woman named Eleanor drowned near the house. A storm in 1923. Her body was never found. Locals said she never left. She wandered the dunes, looking for her family. Mike still checks his locks at night, just in case. Then there's the story from California. A couple, Jenna and Ryan, they rented a beach house in 2020 near Santa Cruz. It was their anniversary. The house was modern. Glass walls, ocean views, perfect, until the noises started, scratching inside the walls. At first, they thought it was mice, but it was too loud, too rhythmic, like fingernails on wood, like hands were on his throat. No one was there. His neck had bruises, finger-shaped. He left the next day. The others stayed. Big mistake, heavy, on the roof. Then the ceiling cracked. Plaster fell. They ran outside, looked up, nothing. But the sand around the house was disturbed, like something circled it. Her coffee mug, always near the door. She found an old journal in the attic. Shadows flickered in her peripheral vision. The air smelled like brine and blood. She left after a week. The knocking followed her to her apartment, to her car. She burned the journal. It stopped. But she doesn't write anymore. Doesn't sleep much either. Written by a sailor, 1800s. He described a shipwreck. His crew died. He survived, barely. He wrote about a presence, something that followed him, wanted in. The last entry was one word. Here, they left at sunrise, never went back. The house was demolished a year later. The lot's still empty. No one will build there. The fridge started leaking. Not water, something. Red, thick. It smelled like copper. They're not just tales. They feel real to real. Beach houses sound perfect sun dots and dot waves. But some places hold on to things that don't let go. I think about that Maine house. The shadow in the window. It wasn't human. I know that now. We got out. Others didn't. If you rent a beach house, check the history. Look for the signs. And if you hear a thud, a whisper, a knock, don't stay, run. Because some houses don't just sit by the ocean. They belong to it. And they're hungry. Subscribe for more videos. She wanted solitude. Rented a beach house in 2021. Remote. No neighbors. Just cliffs and waves. Perfect for her novel. The first night, she heard knocking soft. On the front door. She checked no one. Just the wind. But it kept happening. Every night. Knock. She set up her phone to record. The video showed nothing, but the audio caught it. Knocking. Then a voice. Let me in. It said, faint, pleading. They called the landlord. He said it was rust. But rust doesn't pulse. Doesn't move like it's alive. One night, Jenna woke up. 3 a.m. The bed was shaking. Just slightly. Ryan was asleep. She thought it was an earthquake. California, right? But the shaking stopped when she sat up. The room was freezing. Her breath fogged. She heard a laugh, low, childlike, coming from the closet. She woke Ryan. They checked. Nothing, just clothes and hangers. But the air smelled like seaweed and rot. The next day, they found handprints small on the glass windows outside. Second floor, no balcony. No way a kid could have climbed up. Ryan called the rental company. Small crawling. She screamed. Ryan grabbed a flashlight. The beam caught it. A figure. Pale. Eyes too big. It scuttled under the couch. They didn't wait for morning. Packed and left. The car radio turned on as they drove away. Static. Then a child's voice, singing. They turned it off. It came back on. They sold that car a month later. They laughed it off. Old houses have quirks, they said. But the house wasn't old. Built in 2010. Jenna dug online. Found a forum. Locals talked about the land. A fishing village used to be there. Abandoned after a fire. Kids died. The post said their spirits stayed angry. Trapped. That night, the power went out. The scratching got louder, closer. Jenna saw something in the hallway. A shape. Another story. From Florida. A group of spring breakers. 2019. They rented a cheap beach house in Daytona. Rundown, but close to the bars. The first night, they partied hard. Came back at 3 a.m. The house was trashed. Not by them. Furniture flipped. Windows open. Sand everywhere. They blamed each other. Hung over fights. But the security camera showed something else. A figure, blurry, moving through the living room. At 4:47 a.m., no one was home then. The next night, one guy, Chris, woke up choking. The final night, they heard footsteps. The last story is from Oregon. A writer, Lisa. Lisa ignored it, kept writing, but objects moved. Her keys, her laptop. Lisa felt watched. These stories stick with you.